If students really do learn only a small part of what they learn in class, what is the university doing to build environments that support learning when class is over?
The majority of libraries are filled with books and stacks and more static space. This library is completely flipped on its head.
A lot of the ambitions for this building were about it not being, this is what's going to happen in this building.
I used the great European train stations as a model of people coming into a space and seeing many destinations on the board. To me, that was all very analogous to the journey of a student when they're on their own learning. And so as we delved more deeply into what a model like that might look like, we started out with one kind of off-the-wall idea I brought with me, and then we deepened that into something that turned into this. It was an amazing experience of collaboration.
This notion of activity and vibrancy and gleaning knowledge, and what does that look like?
What kind of building and space did that call for? That if we accepted that that dream was a good dream, the ideas were good, but there was no model, there was no other library that was doing this, so we couldn't go somewhere and see how it was already done.
We would draw, and she would say, no, I want to see book bags and I want to see pajamas, because that's really what was in her head. She really saw that this thing was a part of their campus. And so when we understood those kind of really subtle things, it was able to kind of fold a place for people to kind of lean back.
It was amazing to me how it worked. It was a leap of faith at the beginning. There's just no question on their part and on ours, I think. It took both of us to get to this building.
We wanted to create a place and space that took into account the changing dynamics of the learning environment. We wanted to create a space that had technology at its core, but also a space that would use technology to create the relationships between students and faculty and staff.
We've tried to align the actual environment of the academic library with the kind of environment people choose in all the other walks of their life. We've tried to build a whole matrix here where the students can literally tailor this environment to what they need at the moment, and it can accommodate and include all of the habits and the devices that they use to organize their life all the rest of the time. I think that's the biggest change we've made. Noise here is not forbidden. We have quiet places, but we have places that are not quiet at all. We let the students sort themselves out around those different spectra, and I think that's going to be a very successful model.
We decided to place this structure right in the middle of a pedestrian diagonal that existed on campus. You cannot walk around this building. You can, but you can't ignore it as you walk past it. You can walk through it.
We were looking to find any way to get a student into the library, and we weren't shy about it. So we brought a cafe into it. We brought the knowledge market and the multi-purpose room, a gallery. All of these things were about ways to start to pull people into the space so that they could learn that the library has a place. It has a way that you can learn about things better than from Google.
They understand the new model of education, problem solving, applied education, knowing the content, sure, but then being able to not just retrieve it, but to use it.
So I think what this library does is it creates an environment for that sort of collaboration and that practice of working with others to occur, so that students aren't in their dorm rooms doing all of their research online at their computer in solitary. Instead, they're coming to a place where they can be with others to learn how to work as a group, and that's something that I think employers are looking for.
We had always known there was a rhythm to the semester, so you'd have slower times and busier times, and you could pretty much predict when those were going to be based on the academic calendar. What we had not given enough attention to was the fact that there's a quotidian rhythm as well, a daily rhythm, and it starts off with people being very quiet, very alone during the day. They tend to be studying or reading, and then after supper, it seemed like around 6 or 7 o'clock, there was this flood of people in the building, and we would see different behaviors entirely. Students who wanted to study in community but alone, that alone together kind of phenomenon. But then we also saw groups form and split apart. And this went on all night long. It was just this constant amoebic-like movement of them with each other in all kinds of formations.
The reaction has been exciting to see. The students walk into this building and they feel smarter, as they say. It's the wow factor. It's I want to be here. They feel very comfortable in this environment. They want to go learn here.
It's just really incredible how they brought so much of being a student into one building. Like, it's not just a place to find a book.
It's more of a collaboration space. It's so cool because it's so of the future, and I think this is really where libraries are going.
And it's just encouraging to see that there's people out there that want to see us succeed.
You build a structure. You have great architectural features to this building, but what's going on inside is the key to success.
And I remember a football player, kind of a guy, walked in the building, and we overheard him say something like, "Learning just became sexy." That's the European train station moment, the moment when expectations rise and energy is there and you're totally in line with what you need to be doing. There's something kind of magical about that moment when you transcend the humdrum of I have to go do my homework. And instead, what they're doing is they're moving into an environment that was designed for them in 100 ways, that they can tailor in dozens of ways to their own needs of the moment. And they can talk, they can be quiet, they can take a nap, they can sip a latte. That is experiencing a library, which is a very different thing from simply going to one to do your homework.
I think a lot of times some of your best ideas come when you're not really in the act of studying. You're actually pausing and reflecting, and all of a sudden you have that aha moment.
I guess probably the most common phrase we have heard through it all, I want to move in, I want to live here. And they're not just talking about 7 in the morning till 2 in the morning when we're open. They really want to move in here. They think this space has everything they need to be successful and to be comfortable. That's a tremendous tribute to the project, I think.